What's going on, guys? Rank Gaming here, and welcome back to the video. Of course, I did miss yesterday's video on Saturday. Main reason for that is I was just kind of tired, had a few things planned, but didn't really have anything ready to go, and I was kind of busy earlier on in the week, so I wasn't able to get anything ready for you guys. But hopefully now, for the next couple of weeks, we'll have a ton of videos out with no delays, and everything will be out on the day it should be. Now, for today's video, we're covering another gun. This time it's the Benet Mercie, I believe it's said in French, or for English we'd say Benet Mercie, and honestly this gun is pretty damn good. Now, this gun is more commonly known as a Hotchkiss M1909, but it was designed by Lawrence Benet and Henry Mercie in 1901, but it did have the help of Benjamin B. Hotchkiss, who actually started the company in France where the rifle was made. Now, in 1909 it was adopted by the French army, but wasn't actually given to infantry. It was mainly handed out to mounted units on tanks, trucks, fortresses, planes, things like that, and it was the same with the British. They adopted it as well, but they didn't hand out it to infantry. For the most part, this was because they just didn't believe that it was as powerful as some of the MGs they had. And of course, it was still seen at this point that the light machine gun was a uncivilized way of war, that to use an LMG was uncivilized, and that a man should face gunfire to gunfire with a bolt-action rifle. But the US did eventually adopt their own version in 1909 as well, and began manufacturing it in the Springfield Armory. Now, it was one of the first air-cooled light machine guns, and the US used it as a general light machine gun. They were the first people to say, you know what, we're going to give these to troops, send them out, lie on a hill, and just put a bunch of bullets down range, because that's what this gun is best at. The US versions did have a few problems though. Things like firing pins would commonly break, the extractors would break, and the stripper clips we used would often bend, and in general could be inserted upside down. So though it was a rather effective gun, there were a lot of things that could go wrong. Now, with a two-man crew, you can basically put unrelenting fire down range. Because they use stripper clips, you can put one stripper clip in, and then instantly put another clip in after that with no delay, very much like a Gatling gun, where you can put in one clip above the gun, shoot all those rounds, but before they're all gone, put another clip in. Now, because of this technique where you can have a two-man crew and they could put hundreds of rounds down range, in the Battle of Columbus, 4 machine guns fired 20,000 rounds non-stop. And honestly, it was pretty amazing to think about it. 4 guns, 20,000 rounds, non-stop going down range. And then obviously that's going to tell you that this gun was reasonably effective. It did have disadvantages, like the Lewis gun had a bigger ammunition capacity, but the Lewis gun was water cooled. You had to get the water to cool it, and obviously then if you shoot the jacket, the gun's basically broken. And there's other ones, like eventually the German MG15 was rather effective again, but did have problems with jamming and just wasn't as effective as the Benet Mercie. Now, because it was so effective, it was eventually used in World War II as well, although obviously more LMGs came along at that point, so this one wasn't seen as much, but it was still heavily used. Now, in Battlefield 1, its maximum damage is 23 to 11 meters, which causes a 5-shot kill, and its minimum damage is 19 from 35 meters, which causes a 6-shot kill. So a 5 and a 6-shot kill isn't too bad. I mean, it's tied with every LMG in Battlefield 1, but at the same time, there are guns that obviously do more damage in different classes. But for the most part, this is honestly okay. The one downside, in a way, is that it only has a 30-round magazine, which I do believe, aside from the BAR, is the smallest one in Battlefield 1. So, of course, the problem you have is if you're within 11 meters, you can only kill 6 people, and then, of course, at 35 meters and beyond, I believe you can only kill 5 people. So, although that's not terrible, obviously the gun is very accurate, so that's not a huge problem. The other thing is it only has 450 rounds per minute, which is the slowest. Now, this does help with accuracy, of course. Less bullets down range at a fast rate means that the gun isn't going to kick as much, but it does mean that you aren't going to get your bullets down range very quick, meaning that somebody can easily turn around and kill you quicker. But for the most part, that doesn't happen a lot because this gun is very accurate. Then you can usually get a headshot or two, actually take somebody out before they can even look at you. And of course, the gun has different variants, and the first one is the Storm. This gun has iron sights with a foregrip, which means it has reduced recoil, so when you shoot the gun it doesn't kick as much and it's a lot more accurate at range, although the bullets do have a little bit more spread than the other two variants. And for the most part, this is the general overall best at everything sort of variant. This is personally my favourite one, mainly because I like the iron sights of this gun, and I find the other two variants just aren't as effective and really don't do a huge amount to help the gun. The next one is the telescopic variant. This one has a medium range scope with a bipod. For the most part, this one's used for longer range because the bipod gives you basically perfect accuracy, and this is kind of a suppressing variant. But of course, if you stand up, you're not using this gun to its best effect, because of course the sight is zoomed in. Basically means the recoil in some way is magnified, making it hard to control, along with the fact that it has even less recoil in general, not including the sight. So this gun is very effective if you lie down and put a bunch of bullets down range. It doesn't have very good standing up accuracy, as weird as that sounds. So if you're going to use this gun to sort of run around everywhere, it's not really used for that. And because of the 30 round magazine, which isn't exactly very big, especially not for a suppressing gun, it's not very well suited to that either. So with something like a Lewis gun, which I believe has 90 rounds for the suppressing variant, you could put a bunch of bullets down range with that one. While this one, 30 rounds, despite a quick reload, that's not exactly very good. And the last one is the optical variant. This one has a lens sight with a vertical grip, which basically means it has improved accuracy and less bullet spread. It does, however, have more recoil than the Storm, so despite better accuracy, the recoil kind of takes that away instantly, and means that the gun is going to be more accurate. Of course, the bullet's going to spread less, but the recoil is going to be higher, meaning it might be harder to acquire your target. Along with the fact that I still don't like the lens sight because I feel it takes up a lot of the screen and just isn't very effective, especially not compared to the iron sights. This one isn't much better, although honestly there's not much difference between these two and the Storm, but I still prefer the Storm. Now overall for this gun, with damage basically identical to all the other LMGs, it has pretty decent accuracy compared to all the others, of course like the BIR, and for the most part it is very assault rifle-like. I would basically use it over any other LMG except for the BIR. I would still use the BAR over the Hotchkiss gun or the Benet Mercie, mostly because the BAR just looks cooler, and honestly it's more accurate. Even though it has a smaller magazine, I just find that it's more effective than the Benet Mercie. Regardless of what rifle you choose to use, hopefully you guys did enjoy. Of course, again, hopefully I'll get my schedule back on its rails and all the videos coming out at the proper time they should, not late, not delayed, or not out overall. I won't have a weapon guide out next week though, because it is Christmas, and I kind of feel that first of all I don't want to be doing stuff on Christmas. I want to just spend my time with family and stuff like that, and for the most part who's going to watch it, because people are going to be spending time with their families, not on YouTube looking for videos. But obviously after that point I will continue the videos, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this as well. And hopefully you enjoyed this video, but if you like to subscribe, Rank Up Gaming, out.